Now joining us, we got two people, Herschel Walker and Matt Mitrione. Gentlemen, first off, Herschel, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on. And Matt, how about yourself?
I'm living a dream, brother. If I were any better, I'd be twins.
You guys were supposed to fight each other, let's just say. If that was to happen, who'd win?
I would be too afraid to get in a cage with him because I don't know what this man genetically would do to me, and I would be like, hey, you know what? I just can't sign that contract. I'd probably cut my own eyebrow with a razor blade in the back.
And Matt is somebody you don't want to fight. Because I tell you, for a heavyweight, this is a heavyweight that moves. Matt moves so well around in the cage, and I tell you, he's not a guy you want to fight because being a heavyweight that got the skill level that he has, that's why I'm looking forward to his fight he got coming up against Fedor. Now, I want to see that movement that he's been showing everyone because I tell you what, this guy is incredible.
Now, we're broadcasting in South Jersey and Philadelphia, very familiar with our area, and you played with the Eagles for 3 years. What do you take away from your time in Philly?
I absolutely love Philly. I'll tell you what, having an opportunity to play with Reggie White, Randall Cunningham, and all those guys there, I absolutely love Philly. As a matter of fact, I still got some property of it in Prospect Avenue, and I probably shouldn't say that because I don't want no one going up there messing with my property. But, you know, Philadelphia was a good city for me, and I loved it. I love the people. People that they put their nose down, go down and just work hard, and that's what it's all about. And I tell you what, Philly, I thank him. I want to say thank you to everybody in Philly for all they did for me there.
I know it's a business, but there's so many rivalries in this game, and you were a Cowboy, you were an Eagle, you also had a year with the Giants in New York. What is that like for you, bouncing around from place to place where, hey, one day they love you and the next day they hate you?
Well, you know, it was good for me because now whatever team is winning, I can always say I'm rooting for that team. But, you know, I tell everyone, you know, it was an opportunity for me to meet a lot of people. You know, I started in New York with the New Jersey Generals, and to have a chance to come back to play for the Giants because, you know, in New York, in that New York area, the Giants is everything. You know, it's Giants, and then going to the Eagles and the Cowboys, you know, that gave me an opportunity to meet a lot of good people. And I tell people, it was tough when you talk about being moved around like that. But I got an opportunity to play with some great guys, be under some great coaches, and most of all, go into cities that I said, if I ever run for president, I think I can carry that state.
When you were in Philadelphia and you signed on with the Eagles, people said this is the missing link. This is the person that's going to be able to deliver that Lombardi trophy to Philadelphia. You guys had a first really good year, and then years 2 and 3, you had some injuries and some other things happen. What happened in Philadelphia? Why didn't you guys have that much success?
Well, I think that's what it is. You had those injuries that plays a big part, and that's just like the game we got this coming Sunday. This game is a game where Atlanta started getting healthy right at the end of the season. Well, when you have injuries right at the end of the season, that's going to hurt you. That's one thing you can't have because you want to have your guys firing on all cylinders, and we didn't have that. And that's what you got to do.
Herschel Walker with us, as well as Matt Mitrione. When you were in Dallas, you got a chance early on in your career to play with Tony Dorsett, one of the all-time great running backs and a really good guy. What did you learn from Tony? You
know, I learned a lot from Tony. His work ethic. You know, that's one thing I learned from, I think, being there with the Cowboys my first year. You have veteran players that they go out to practice, they practice. You didn't have them sitting on the sideline or over there talking about, you know, I'm older. Those guys practice every day. And I think that's what made me the player I am today, to get an opportunity to practice and to play with guys like that, with the Randy Whites, the Ed Too Tall Jones, the Tony Dorsett, and the Beyond Tom Landry. That helped me out a great deal.
When you won the Heisman, take me back what you remember about that night, because now it's such a TV production, and I go every year, and it's such an event. But when you won the Heisman, what do you remember from that year?
Well, you know, that was an interesting time because when I won the Heisman, I still question myself if I won it or they gave it to me, because, you know, going into my junior year, the motto was you got to give it to Herschel, you got to give it to Herschel. But that was the year that John Elway had a great year, the year that Eric Dickerson at SMU had a great year, and Dan Marino had a great year. And I said, well, did they feel sorry and give it to me that year, or did I win it? And I even told them that I was the guys, am I the Susan Lucci of the Heisman Trophy? Because it was a big honor. The Heisman represent a lot of people, but you want to give it to the guy that earned it, not to the guy that you think you got to give it to because you didn't give it to him the years before.
The backs in this game coming up on Sunday. Atlanta, a lot of diverse backs. New England, a lot of diverse backs. They could kill you on the ground and also through the air. They're not the best running backs in the league, but they get the job done. Just how about the current state of the running back position right now in the National Football League?
That's what you want. You want the running back that's going to get the job done. A running back that's not going to go out of the game on third down, that's going to stay in and catch passes. That's what Atlanta and New England got. They got guys that can catch. And that's what I like to see. I like to see a running back that play football, not just play running back. You know, and you got to be able to, guy that's going to get it done, and that's why this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to come down to the passing game. I think it's going to come down to the passing game, and if a running back going to be involved, he's going to have to catch some passes.
Now, Matt, you're always a fighter being a football player. What did you learn in the football field that helps you out now?
I would say probably mental toughness, perseverance, stick-to-itiveness. Like, you know that bad things are going to happen. I think probably more than anything else, and I'm sure you'd agree, Herschel, is that football is played one play at a time, right? So if something bad happens in a fight, you got to forget about it, brother. You got to move on and get ready for the next moment to happen. I would say that's probably one of the biggest lessons I took from football.
In terms of the game this weekend, who do you like?
I like the Atlanta Falcons. If their front seven steps up and plays the way they did against the Packers, I'd go Falcons 21-17.
And how about you, Herschel? Who do you like this weekend?
Well, I'm taking the Falcons as well. As I said earlier on, I think the Falcons started getting healthy right at the end of the season. And, you know, you can't take anything away from New England because, you know, everyone talk about how many times they've been here. But I'm saying this is a new team. This is a brand new team with New England. They're younger than the Atlanta Falcons, and you got to give them credit. But I think that with that Julio Jones and Ryan, I think that they're going to be the X factor.
You look at the Patriots, and a lot of people are picking them based off their experience. To me, the game's a toss-up. I think this is going to be a really good game, and it's one the NFL needs because this postseason has not been a lot of good football games. But when you look at, and you know how tough it is to win in this league, when you see Brady, you see Belichick, and their first Super Bowl was 2001. They won it. They were the underdog to the greatest show on turf, and now they have a chance to win their fifth together. What is it like for you to watch this run between these two guys be so consistent for so many years?
Well, it's great to see that because, like I said, this is a young Patriots team, and you see Brady, who's playing, he's close to 40, and he's still getting it done. He's getting the job done, and I had a chance to see Mr. Belichick earlier today, and then I saw the owner as well, and I said, this is a very well-ran organization, and my hat is off to him. My hat is off to him because this is what the pivotal thing you want in football. This is the way the game is played, and I think a lot of other organizations ought to look at it. They ought to look at it and see what's going on here because they're doing something right.
And the amazing thing about it is they get these castaway guys. You see a Chris Hogan, who was with the Dolphins, who was with the Bills, ends up having 180 yards in the AFC Championship game. Some of their linebackers didn't work in other places. Just how do they do it? Because it seems like we even saw in Philadelphia, Patrick Chung was in New England, goes to Philadelphia, stinks, comes back to New England, he's a starter. Eric Rowe goes from playing last year in his first year and now has been getting an interception in the AFC Championship game. What's in the water there? How do they do it?
Well, it's just in the system that they're running, and also it's just the coaching. You know, the coaches put them in position where the guys enjoy it, put them in a position that they can do it. And that's, like I said, it's a team sport. It's a team sport, and the guys go out and they play together. They believe in themselves, and they believe in each other. And once you get on a team that's believing like that, they become effective. They become effective to go out there that you want to play, and you want to play well.
Now, Matt, how about this fight coming up? You got to win, right?
Yeah, well, that's the plan, right? I mean, I don't know too many people that enter competitions planning on losing, for sure. But yeah, man, I'm excited about it. It's the biggest name in my sports history, the greatest heavyweight of all time, and I'm going to punch him in his face. I'm going to do my very best to come out victorious, for sure.
Take me through the training regimen behind this match.
Well, you know, it's kind of the same thing. I don't really change what I do per opponent because I'm the variable. I'm the wild card. Most other people are rather the same. So it's more do what I do, stay long, stay aggressive, stay athletic, and stay mobile. And if I do that, I don't see anybody in the world beating me.
Before we let you guys run, Herschel, in your athletic career, it's been so diverse. You've had so much success, college, and then also the pros. What's your greatest athletic achievement to you? What are you most proud of after all these years?
Well, if you're going to talk about sports, I think my most proudest moment is having an opportunity to play with some of the finest guys and finest coaches because that has helped me to become the man I am. Not just playing the game, but meeting great people that have helped me along the way. But when you start talking about my finest moment is having a 17-year-old son that I can become a father. And I've told him if I can be the father to him as the father was to me, I think I've done done a great job. You know, my father never finished the 3rd grade, but he was a man that worked hard, never complained. He went out and got the job done. He gave us a great education, and that's what I want to do with my son. But that's what I tell people all the time. You know, hug your child every day. Tell them how special they are because they are.
And now there's always this debate because of concussions, and I understand why some parents may not want their kids playing football. But with that being said, I believe, just like you're saying, football teaches so many life lessons. And that's why, to me, I think it's still important for kids to play football.
Oh, it is. You know that you can get injured in almost any sport. There's no doubt. They're trying to make the sport better, and they are concussion. But concussion, you give a kid an opportunity. You never know what's going to happen.
Now, is Matt going to win the fight? Be honest with me.
Oh, yeah, I think Matt is going to win. And the reason why is Matt moves around. So I'm going to encourage everyone on February the 18th, turn it to Spike, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. You're going to watch Matt Mitrione get it on with a living legend, and you're going to watch Matt beat him.
Herschel, thanks so much.
Hey, you're welcome now.
Matt, great to see you as well.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
You must love it, what he just said about you, right?
Having a legend like that say things like that about you, it's pretty damn cool.
Thanks so much, Matt.
Right on. Appreciate it.